Inverted commas. Inverted commas are used to punctuate direct speech. These are inverted commas. Inverted commas can also be known by different names, including speech marks, quotation marks, or we can use a speech bubble for direct speech. We always use a new line for a new speaker. In these examples, the direct speech is inside each of the speech bubbles. So here, how are you today? Mr. Milner is asking. I'm great, Max has replied. I'm now going to type this up so I can see what this looks like. I must start with an inverted comma because all of the direct speech that Mr. Milner has said needs to go inside the inverted commas. Capital letter, beginning of a sentence. How are you today? I must include my punctuation, and now I'm going to use the inverted comma to close the direct speech. How are you today? Asked Mr. Miller, full stop. Max is responding, so I'm going to go on to a new line for a new speaker. Inverted commas, so that I can enclose Max's direct speech. I'm great. Must include the punctuation and close the inverted commas. I'm great, replied Max. Full stop. As evidenced in the previous slide, we must begin the direct speech with a capital letter. Here I have my inverted comma, my capital letter. What an amazing day! Exclamation. My punctuation mark, inverted comma, he announced. I'm going to write the direct speech inside my speech bubble. What, and I start with a capital letter. What an amazing day! Must include my punctuation, exclamation mark. My speech bubble has acted and done the job of the inverted commas. Reporting clauses. After the speech itself, a reporting clause gives a little bit of information about who is speaking and how it is said. The direct speech in this example is, "What's the matter, Dinah?" As you can see, I have my capital letter at the beginning. I have my punctuation, which is the question mark. My direct speech is clearly enclosed by the inverted commas. And my reporting clause is said Sid. Because in this example, Sid is speaking. There are a few more examples at the bottom. In each case, Sid is still the person speaking, asking the direct speech. It's the same speech. What's the matter, Dinah? With my punctuation of the question mark enclosed in the inverted commas. However, the reported clause is slightly different. Asked Sid. Whispered Sid. Uttered Sid. Shouted Sid. The reported clause are the words that are highlighted in blue. And what you will notice in each of the examples is that the reported clause, giving me the little bit of information about who is speaking and how it is said, comes after the direct speech. It does not come inside the inverted commas. I would like you now to have a go at writing out the sentences. As you can see, there is a new line because there's a new speaker, so there's a new line for each new speaker. Have a go at writing these out and punctuating them correctly. When you are ready, press play and come back to join me. Did you manage to correctly punctuate these sentences? Please feel free to stay on this slide and check. As you can see, this is what each of those sentences should look like, correctly punctuated. Let's see if you're an expert. Is this speech punctuated correctly? "We're having roast chicken on Sunday," said James. The answer is no. It has everything I am looking for. However, you will notice that the inverted comma is not in the correct place. It must come after the direct speech, after the punctuation, which is in this case the question mark, and before the reporting clause, said James. Have a look at this example. This example, the speech is punctuated correctly. What about this example? No. No, there is no inverted commas around the direct speech at all. So I'm going to place an inverted comma before the direct speech and after the direct speech. And again, in the previous model, it comes after the punctuation and before the reported clause. Take a look at this final example. Is this speech punctuated correctly? I've never been to France. I've never been to France, stated Cody. And there is a sneaky piece of punctuation that is missing, and it needs the comma, and the comma must come before the inverted comma. Please feel free to watch this presentation again if you need to. When you are ready, go to Doodle Classroom and complete the work that has been assigned to you. When you have finished, complete the inverted commas quiz on Google Classroom.